I tried the Petri effect in resin and it was a disaster. So this video is all about what not to do if you decide to try the Petri effect. So I'm first starting off by mixing up my 2-part epoxy resin, and this is one of the few things that I got right for this project because apparently UV resin does not go together well with alcohol inks, which is the other main ingredient that we need in this project. Now I am partially filling the cavities in my mold here, and I'm not putting in too little, but I'm not putting in too much because the alcohol ink is going to add volume to the cavities, so I wanted to leave enough room so that it can accommodate the extra ingredient without overfilling. So at this stage in the project, everything is going all right. We have our resin mixed well and we have the right amount that we need in our molds. At this point, everything that could go wrong had already gone wrong because this is now 30 minutes or more since I initially poured the epoxy in the molds. And look what happens when I drop the alcohol ink in the resin. Nothing happens because the resin was already so thick, and so there was no movement in the resin. Another thing is that I did not even remember how many drops of alcohol inks to use because I had not refreshed my memory by watching other videos on YouTube to see how the Petri effect is done. The last time I watched a Petri effect video was several months ago, maybe even more than a year ago. So it had been a while, and I definitely should have done that before I attempted to do this project. I don't think I realized at this point just how bad it was going to be because the resin was so thick. So I continued to pour in my alcohol inks. By the way, those are DIY alcohol inks. And I noticed that there was some movement when I dropped the white alcohol ink in the mixture. However, it was really just the alcohol inks dancing with each other, and there was hardly any interaction with the resin because the resin was so thick. The surface of the resin was so thick. I think by now I realized that it was not going to work out well, so I just dropped alcohol inks in the different cavities without any real purpose or any uniformity or anything like that. By the way, if you are wondering why did I take 30 minutes to add the alcohol inks, well, I decided to work on 2 projects that I had not done ever before. And so when I poured the initial layer of clear resin in this mold, I moved it out of the way, and then I said I was going to leave it for a few minutes to give attention to the other project. But then the resin started to heat up, and it did take me a while to get everything together. And because that project was the main project that I wanted to get done this day, I focused on it. I prioritized giving attention to that project. I know I regret doing that because that project is also a mess. So I have 2 failed projects that were done in one day. And I'm definitely going to post that other project because it's not a project that I've ever seen anyone do, anyone in the jewelry making resin niche do. So I will be posting that next Wednesday because there is one particular piece from this project that blew me away in a positive way. I was doing a little testing to see how it would work, and I feel like I want to redo this experiment and add in elements of that particular piece for the video that will be posted on Saturday. So stay tuned for that. So after pouring in the alcohol inks, I used a little stir stick to do some stirring in the different cavities. And I just use a paper towel to wipe off the stick in between the stirrs. Now I want you to watch me stirring this one in real time. Yes, I am still stirring the same one, and the result will show that I stirred it that many times. So that is another mistake that I made. Fortunately, I did not stir the rest of them that many times. And I did not even bother to stir the ones in the other molds other than this one. And the reason why suppose I felt I needed to stir it is to push the alcohol ink down in the resin, because I realized that the alcohol inks were just sitting on the top of the resin. And now it's time for the dreaded reveal. And full disclosure, I almost did not post it because I did not think it had any valuable piece of anything in it. But then I thought about it and I said, you know what? At least it shows what you should not do in this effect. So that is what I'm going to call this video, what not to do when it comes onto the Petri effect. So this is the first one, and it was a lot better than I thought it would have turned out. So I suppose it could have gone worse. This project could have gone worse. Had I felt the project would have turned out better, I would have added a black backing on the different pieces so that it makes the colors pop better. But this one doesn't look so bad. I definitely see the potential, which is one of the reasons why I want to redo this experiment. It's it could have gone worse, but it definitely is not. The results are definitely not great. So these are the smaller pieces. So not good results, but I see potential. And now this is the one that was stirred for eternity. Now these ones I did not stir at all, but this is what happened to it. There's a slightest little bit of sinking, and it's only visible in the side view. Now this one is my special project that I was doing a little test in to see how a particular material will look in the resin. So I really wanted to see how this one turned out. And I was not disappointed with the thing that I put in it. I'm gonna reveal it in the next video, although you probably can tell what it is. But it did. I was this this entire mess of a project was worth it because I achieved this from it. So now I am inspired to replicate this and also to see how it would have looked if the alcohol inks were able to dance around and sink in the resin. So that is what I'm going to be doing on Saturday. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I appreciate every one of you. Bye.